Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that honestly feels like it's pulled straight from a sci-fi movie. We're talking about the power to build a real working app, not by writing a single line of code, but just by describing what you want it to do. And the craziest part? This isn't some far-off dream. It's a revolution that's already here.
So let me ask you this. How many times have you had that light bulb moment? You've got this brilliant, maybe even game-changing idea for an app, but you're not a programmer. You don't have a huge pile of cash or months of time to hire a team. So that amazing idea it just sits there, right? What if that whole barrier just vanished?
I mean, just look at this slide. It lays out the massive change we're seeing so perfectly. You've got the old way on the left, this long, complicated, and super expensive road from idea to reality. And then on the right, you've got the new way, a straight line, powered by AI. We are literally taking a process that used to take months and squeezing it into an afternoon. It's wild.
So, let's get into how this whole thing actually works, because we're not just talking about making clunky little prototypes anymore. The goal here is to create polished, high-quality apps, the kind you'd find on the App Store, and take them straight from your brain to someone's phone. The first big concept you gotta know is no-code. And yeah, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You can just forget about needing to learn these super complex languages like Python or Java. The whole process is done with visual tools, and this is the best part, just plain English. You don't need to be a tech genius.
And then you add the other secret ingredient, making it AI-driven. This is where the real magic happens. You just say what you want. Something simple like, I need a fitness tracker that logs my daily calories. And the AI basically becomes your personal translator. It turns that simple idea into the app's design, its features, and all that complicated logic in the background that actually makes it work.
So why is this such a big deal? Well, as you can see here, the goals are way bigger than just doing things faster. This is about democratizing software. It's about opening the doors for everyone. By slashing the costs and making this tech accessible to anyone, you're paving the way for a huge wave of innovation, letting anybody with a great idea actually build it.
Okay, so how in the world does the AI pull this off? Well, it uses something called a multi-agent system. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like this. Imagine you have your own personal, super efficient development team that works for you, instantly. And thinking of it as a team is really helpful because each part of the AI has a very specific job to do. So, your first team member is the interviewer, or what's technically called the requirements agent. After you pitch your initial idea, this AI will actually have a conversation with you. It'll ask you smart questions like, hey, should users be able to upload photos or just text? It's all about making sure it gets your vision exactly right.
Next up, you've got the designer. This agent takes all that info from the interview and builds the entire visual experience. You know, the user interface. It designs the layout, the buttons, the colors, basically making sure the app not only works great, but looks and feels great too.
And last but not least, you have the engineer. This is the software agent, and it does all the serious heavy lifting behind the scenes. It's the one writing thousands of lines of code, connecting everything to a database, and setting up the servers. It's the one that actually brings your app to life, and you never have to see any of it.
So for you, the journey from idea to app is just incredibly simple. Step 1, you describe your idea. 2, you answer a few questions from the AI. 3, you look at what it built and ask for changes, just by saying things like, make that button blue. 4, you test a live preview of it right there. And 5, you hit publish. That's it. It's that straightforward.
But this is so much bigger than just making it easier for one person to build an app. This kind of technology is creating a massive ripple effect across the entire economy. It's changing how businesses are built and what it even means to be a developer.
Let's just break that down for a second. For an individual, you could launch a small software business, a micro SaaS, over a weekend. For a big company, a marketing team can now build its own custom tool without waiting in line for the IT department. And for the market, it means we're going to see a flood of new creative solutions for very specific problems. But maybe the most interesting part is what it does to jobs. The developer's role starts to shift from being a coder to more of an AI supervisor, someone who guides the vision and checks the AI's work for quality and safety.
And this isn't just theory. Let's make it real. You could build a custom inventory tracker for your little online shop in, 15 minutes? A startup could create a real working product to show investors without spending all their money. A teacher could literally build a custom learning app for their classroom in an afternoon. The possibilities are just endless.
Okay, so it all sounds incredible, almost too good to be true. And we gotta be realistic here. Like with any powerful new technology, there's always some fine print.
There are limitations, and it's really important that we understand them.
So, what's the sweet spot for this stuff? Well, it's absolutely perfect for things like internal business tools, prototypes, and simpler apps for customers. But look, if you're trying to build the next Fortnite or a high-speed stock trading platform, you're still going to need a team of human coders. The AI just isn't ready for that level of complexity. At least, not yet.
And now for the big one, the question everyone really needs to be asking. If an AI is writing all the code, can you actually trust it? Can you trust it with your users' sensitive data? Is it secure?
And yep, there are definitely some major risks here. First, there's platform lock-in, meaning once you build your app on one service, it can be really hard to move it somewhere else. Second, and this is the most critical one, security. An AI can make mistakes that could expose user data, so having a human to verify its work is absolutely crucial. And finally, hidden costs. Building the app might be fast and cheap, but hosting it and scaling it up for millions of users, well, that can get expensive.
All of this really leads us to this powerful final thought, which is summed up perfectly by this quote. The next billion-dollar app won't be coded, it will be described. Just think about that for a second. It really captures the heart of this revolution. The biggest barrier to creating world-changing software is shifting away from technical skill and toward the quality and clarity of an idea. It puts all the power in the hands of the visionaries and the problem solvers, which really leaves us with one fascinating question. If you could build anything at all, just by describing it, what would you create?